It's it's very special to be here because a few years ago I was France in lower division. Like 5 years ago I wasn't professional.
What if I told you that one of football's greatest warriors lives like your next-door neighbor? Meet N'Golo Kanté, the man who conquered the world, lifted the Premier League, Champions League, and World Cup, yet still drives a modest car, avoids the spotlight, and smiles like fame never found him. No flashy mansions, no loud controversies, just relentless work ethic, quiet discipline, and a heart as big as his engine on the pitch. He had the humblest beginnings in Paris to becoming football's most respected midfielder. This is the story of a superstar who chose simplicity over stardom. He might be modest, but wealth doesn't hide, so we will take a deep dive into his quiet money lifestyle. But before getting on with the reward of his hard work, let us date back to the modest days, and I mean modest. In a modest suburban neighborhood west of Paris with narrow streets, tightly packed apartments, and the chatter of early commuters, paint a picture of humble beginnings. A young boy, tiny for his age, walks with a worn-out bag slung over his shoulder. He's focused, quiet, scanning the sidewalks and alley edges with great intent. Paris often tells its grand stories from the Eiffel Tower downward, but this one begins at ground level, literally. Born on March 29, 1991, to Malian immigrant parents, N'Golo Kanté grew up in Ruelle Malmaison, a neighborhood where dreams were often far away, but determination walked every street. Tragedy struck quite early when his father, a garbage collector, passed away at the age of 11, shifting responsibilities to N'Golo at that very tender age. The responsibilities didn't just visit, it settled on his small shoulders, and so he worked. He walked miles. He gathered waste and sold it to recycling companies to support his mother, a cleaner, and his siblings. Now picture this. It's the 1998 FIFA World Cup, and France is electric. How old was Kante? Yeah, just 7. Determined and unnoticed, moves through the aftermath of celebrations, collecting bottles and litter. To many, this was the summer France lifted its first World Cup. To N'Golo, it was the summer opportunity filled the streets. More bottles to collect, more trash to recycle, more income for his family. But it was also the summer he saw something powerful. He saw a French team filled with children of migrants, like him, becoming champions. He stops, watching a TV in a shop window replay Zidane lifting the trophy. His eyes widen, and just like that, a new dream took root. A scrappy football pitch in the western suburbs. Kids yell, chase the ball, laugh. A smaller-than-average 8-year-old steps onto the field. He's quiet, observing. "New kid, join the midfield." He nods and jogs over. The moment the ball rolls his way, he springs. Not fast, relentless, covering every blade of grass. At just 8 years old, Kante joined JS Suresnes, surprising everyone, not with size or flair, but with discipline, humility, and an engine that never stopped running. Coaches quickly noticed what the world would someday celebrate: unstoppable work ethic, tactical intelligence, and a maturity far beyond his age. Even at Suresnes, he took on leadership roles, coaching younger kids, a quiet leader long before millions knew his name. Then the opportunities started flooding in. Some rejections due to his petite physique, but rejection didn't scare him. It refined, hardened him, and fueled him. He would often train alone, running laps, practicing tackles, intercepting imaginary passes, studying the game with monk-like devotion. Where others saw limitation, he saw opportunity. Where others saw a boundary, he saw a horizon. Every step he took was powered by the same engine that once carried him across Paris collecting recyclables. Unto his early 20s, Kante stepped onto a professional pitch for the first time. The silver lining was now visible. From Suresnes to Bologna, from overlooked kid to professional footballer, the journey had begun, but the world had not yet seen the storm coming. He made his senior professional debut in 2012 with Boulogne, coming off the bench in a single League Two match. The following season, he wasn't in the spotlight yet. Instead, Kante spent a full year grinding it out in France's third division, sharpening his game and earning every minute. That persistence paid off. Kante later joined Caen on a free transfer and almost immediately became a key piece of the team. He helped Caen finish third in League 2, earning promotion to League 1. And he didn't stop there. Kante stayed another season and played a major role in guiding the club to a solid mid-table finish in France's top flight. Then came the move that changed everything. In 2015, Leicester City took a chance on him, signing Kante for just £5.6 million, a fee that would soon look like one of the biggest bargains in football history. And the rest? History in the making. N'Golo Kanté didn't just join Leicester City, he became the engine behind one of the greatest shocks in football history. In 2016, Kante was everywhere as Leicester City pulled off the impossible, winning the Premier League against all odds. One season later, he made a big move to Chelsea for £32 million, and somehow did it again. Kante won the league back-to-back, becoming the first outfield player since Eric Cantona in 1992 and 1993 to claim consecutive English League titles with two different clubs. At Chelsea, his trophy collection exploded. Over 7 seasons, Kante helped lift the FA Cup, UEFA Europa League, UEFA Champions League, UEFA Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. He wasn't just part of the team, he was the heartbeat of it. In the summer of 2023, after 7 unforgettable years, Kante left Chelsea on a free transfer to join Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. Individually, his dominance was undeniable. Kante claimed the Premier League Player of the Season, PFA Players Player of the Year, FWA Footballer of the Year, UEFA Men's Midfielder of the Year, and won the Trophées UNFP Best French Player Abroad award twice. For a player who once went unnoticed, the recognition was extraordinary. Moving on to the international stage, Kante made his France debut in 2016 and quickly became essential. He helped Les Bleus reach the Euro 2016 final, finishing as runners-up. In 2017, he was named French Player of the Year, becoming the first Premier League-based player to win the award in 7 years. Then came the ultimate prize. On May 17, 2018, N'Golo Kanté received the call of a lifetime. France manager Didier Deschamps named him to the 23-man squad for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. And when the moment came, Kanté didn't sit back. He showed up every single time. He played in all 7 matches for France throughout the tournament, becoming the quiet engine that powered the team. On June 26th, he delivered a standout performance in a 0-0 draw against Denmark, earning Man of the Match honors in the final group game. Then, on July 15th, Kante started in the World Cup final, helping France secure a historic 4-2 victory over Croatia, world champion. Think about that for a second. From being overlooked, doubted, and rejected to standing at the top of the world as an unstoppable force. That's not just a football story, that's a lesson in perseverance. If this journey inspired you, hit that thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss more incredible stories like the rise of N'Golo Kanté. For someone who used to collect scraps like his father, to the Kante whose name is referenced in some of our jams, I think he worked pretty hard, coupled up with resilience, and deserves the luxurious life he lives now. He chooses silent wealth, but those are actually the loudest. His version of luxury is different, grounded, intentional, disciplined, yet still evidence-based. In a world where luxury screams, N'Golo Kanté whispers, because true wealth, for him, was never about how loudly you live, but how wisely you build. With a net worth that has soared from €20 million to estimates as high as $100 million, depending on contract cycles and income structures, Kante stands among football's financial giants, yet chooses to live like the quiet man next door. N'Golo Kanté has never needed noise to build a legacy. His wealth, much like his football, grows through intention, discipline, and purpose. Though celebrated for humility, he has crafted a financial foundation as impressive as any trophy he has lifted. Kante trains before the sun rises, every stride echoing the same precision found in his financial planning. His earnings began with sweat, discipline, and countless interceptions. At Chelsea, his reliability earned him an annual salary exceeding £15 million, reflecting his position among the Premier League's elite. But the true financial turning point arrived with his monumental move to Saudi Arabia, a contract with Al Ittihad worth more than $100 million over 4 years, one of the most lucrative deals ever given to a midfielder. Where others chase extravagance, Kante builds security. His real estate portfolio stretches through London, France, and other strategic locations, forming the backbone of his long-term investments and ensuring steady appreciation far beyond his playing years. He invests not just in profit, but in people. Sports academies and grassroots projects receive his backing, reflecting his belief in lifting others as he rises. His portfolio expands into sustainable sportswear companies and low-risk financial holdings, each choice guided by the same tactical awareness he brings to midfield battles. And in a move that blends passion with strategy, he stepped into club ownership, turning experience into executive insight and reinforcing that his future extends far beyond the pitch. His endorsements mirror his personality: credible, honest, global. Partnerships with Adidas, Hyundai, and other major brands add millions to his income, not through flamboyance, but through authenticity that resonates worldwide. Success at the highest level brought more than glory. His World Cup triumph added millions in performance bonuses, amplifying his career earnings and anchoring his legacy in both football and finance. His financial path is not a story of impulse or extravagance. It is a blueprint of discipline, diversifying investments, minimizing risk, and cultivating long-term stability. Every decision reflects the same patience, intelligence, and foresight that made him the engine of every team he played for. We all can learn a few things from Kante. I'm taking notes. Hope you are too. Moving on to how he spends his money, though he doesn't really spend, but we will get into it anyways. Let us begin with his multi-million-dollar mansion, cause we know that no matter how modest he is, everyone loves to live in premium comfort. In Mali, the land of his parents, Kante constructed a 3 billion CFA franc mansion, about $5 million, not as a symbol of extravagance, but as a tribute to heritage, identity, and family. The villa stretches across multiple levels with wide-open living spaces, marble interiors, handcrafted woodwork, and furniture made specifically for the home. It holds an indoor pool, a private cinema, a full gym, landscaped gardens, a tennis court, and even a guest house. Spaces designed not just for comfort, but for people. Because this mansion is more than a retreat, it's a gathering point, a home shaped with his family and community in mind, a place where laughter fills rooms built for unity and belonging. His connection to Mali is not symbolic, it is lived. On a recent visit to Bamako, he didn't just reconnect with relatives, he reportedly bought a large house specifically for his family, providing them comfort in the capital where their roots run deep. The midfielder also built a gigantic mansion for his family in Bamako, an edifice that locals describe with admiration not just for its scale, but for the humility with which Kante visits it. And far from Africa, in London, where he built his Premier League legacy, Kante lives in a home that mirrors his personality: quiet, understated, peaceful. Though described as a mansion, it is known more for its simplicity than for any display of extravagance. Inside, sunlight touches minimalist decor, warm lighting, and open spaces designed for calm, more sanctuary than spectacle. Each of Kante's homes tells a different story. In Mali, they speak of roots, legacy, and giving back. In London, of quiet refuge from a loud world. Across continents, his mansions don't shout wealth, they whisper purpose. Luxury for him is not indulgence, it is dignity, it is home, it is gratitude turned into architecture. Next, I would like us to explore his very modest garage as well. A car collection not quite representative of a typical football star, but still, well, decent. While footballers zoom through cities in roaring supercars, N'Golo Kanté drifts quietly past them in a vehicle that costs less than the average player's weekly bonus. His timeless favorite, a Mini Cooper worth about £24,000, became a symbol not of wealth, but of character. He bought this first Mini Cooper in 2015, just after signing for Leicester City. While his teammates flaunted engines that cost as much as houses, Kante showed up in a car most young professionals could afford. And even when a lorry clipped it on King's Road, damaging the wheel, he didn't retire it. He didn't upgrade. He didn't care what anyone thought. He simply repaired it and kept driving. Because humility doesn't dent, it endures. When he moved to Chelsea, Kante didn't switch styles. He doubled down. He bought a second Mini Cooper, identical in simplicity, and sent it home to France so he'd have the same comfort wherever he went. 2 cars, same soul. Then came the quiet surprise. After the lockdown, Kante rolled up in a new Mercedes-Benz, a refined shift upward. A choice that balanced comfort with modesty, not opulence. This wasn't a £200,000 sports monster. It was a practical luxury sedan. Elegant, yet grounded, just like him. Kante drives through quiet streets, city lights reflecting off the windshield. There's no entourage, no engines growling beside him, just a man and the road. In a world where luxury is measured in leather, exhaust fumes, and brand badges, Kante redefines status. Not by driving the most expensive car, but by showing he never needed it to shine. Now, on a more personal level, N'Golo Kanté's story is rooted in family. That was his first foundation. A mother who raised 4 children on her own, and siblings who shared the same early struggles. Long before the trophies and headlines, it was family that shaped the man he would become. Kante is a practicing Muslim, and his faith has been a quiet source of strength throughout his life. Through every chapter, struggle, ascension, and spotlight, his Muslim faith remained the compass guiding his humility. He observes Ramadan, balances devotion with demanding schedules, and carries a gentleness shaped by his beliefs. He faced deep personal loss early on, losing his father while he was still young. Then, just before the 2018 World Cup, tragedy struck again when his older brother Niama passed away from a heart attack. Even in grief, Kante carried on and went on to become a world champion. His name itself carries history. He was named after King N'Golo Diarra, the founder of the Bamana Empire, a legacy of resilience and leadership. Talent runs through the Kante family. His older brother Yassine still plays professionally, and he also has a younger sister who followed in his footsteps, spending time in the youth system at Suren. Growing up, Kante idolized legends like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Diego Maradona, players known for joy, creativity, and brilliance. But while his football career was rising, Kante never stopped thinking about life beyond the game. At just 21 years old, while playing for Boulogne, he earned a vocational diploma in accounting, a quiet reminder of how practical and grounded he's always been. Kante knows the world sees him as shy and private, but he's been quick to point out that some stories told by teammates, including Jamie Vardy, are often exaggerated. He may not be loud, but his presence is undeniable. His teammates call him NG. Away from football, he enjoys playing tennis, and when the karaoke mic comes out, his go-to song is Vegedreams Ramenez la coupe à la maison. During his Chelsea initiation, a moment he admitted was stressful. Teammates joked that he simply wasn't loud enough, and when it comes to food, nothing beats home. Kante's favorite dish is thiboudien, a reminder of his roots and his mother's cooking. Proof that no matter how far he's come, some things never change. Humble, resilient, authentic. Away from the noise, the midfielder shares his life with Jude Littler, a British businesswoman once known from shows like Celebrity Coach Trip and Celebrity Come Dine With Me. She was previously married to Djibril Cissé, with whom she has 3 children, before eventually finding a new chapter with Kante. Together, they keep their world private, their moments intimate, their story unspoken but steady. He has lifted trophies, conquered midfields, broken expectations, yet the core of N'Golo Kanté has never changed. A humble heart, a quiet spirit, a man guided by faith, shaped by struggle, strengthened by family, and softened by compassion. The world sees the champion, but those who look closely see the man behind the magic. Every generation needs its teachers. Some stand in classrooms, and some, like N'Golo Kanté, teach through the life they live. Hardship became a classroom, responsibility became a textbook, and young N'Golo learned that even in struggle, you can rise. You too can rise above the adversities. In an age of constant spotlight, Kanté's humility is a counter lesson. He teaches that true character is measured not by public applause, but by the quiet choices made in private. N'Golo Kanté's story is more than football. It's a curriculum of life, resilience, humility, discipline, emotional strength, cultural pride. A reminder that greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. And even if it is loud, what matters is that you remained firm and you triumphed. Hope you enjoyed this one and learned one or two. Drop your thoughts in the comments and I'll be reading each and every one. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay inspired.